I want to talk to you a little bit today about choosing real relationships. How many Facebook friends do you have? Think about that for a minute. Many of us have hundreds, some even thousands. Some of us have so many Facebook friends that Facebook won't even allow us to have any more friends. But many of us may have thousands of Facebook friends or friends on social media, but we don't have that type of real relationship today. And I want to talk to you about just choosing to have real relationship in your life. Our status is so important to us. It's important to us what other people think of us. So we're real self-conscious about what we post, how we post. We can help people see the side of us that we want them to see, and we can keep them from seeing the sides of us that we don't want them to see. So we're very particular about our status. We're very particular about mixing status. We often are shy about maybe mixing our status with someone else's whom we don't like or we don't want to be associated with. We're about promoting a certain type of self-image. And the bad part about that is that nobody really gets to experience who we are. We don't get to experience who anyone else is. We just post about it. We just let people read about who we are. No one truly gets to know us. It makes me think about the Bible story about David, who was going to be king, and the king before him, Saul, didn't like David's popularity, so he set out to harm David. Well, Saul had a son, Jonathan, and Jonathan and David were very, very good friends. And so basically, in essence, Jonathan set up a system with David where he could warn him that his life was in danger and that he could get out of the kingdom before Saul could harm him. And what it makes me think of is the fact that status didn't save David's life. I understand they didn't have Facebook or anything like that back then, but status didn't save David's life. Friendship saved David's life. Friendship is what saved David. And do we have those kinds of relationships today? Do we have life-giving friendship? We also need to understand in this kind of selfie social media world that serving others brings more joy than serving ourselves. We can make posts that draw empathy, that draw sympathy, and we surround ourselves with people who will serve us in those areas. But it's better for us to learn to serve other people, to learn to help other people out, to be there for other people. We're so self-serving today that we even get mad at people at McDonald's when they take more than 7 minutes with our food. And we're Christian people who go to church or who treat people nicely, and as soon as we don't get a Big Mac in 7 minutes, we totally flip out on somebody. That's part of having a self-serving image. We need to learn to make things about other people. Well, we need to learn to be people-focused rather than self-focused. And real relationships is part of what will help us to be people-focused. Another part of that is to choose to make people the priority. Meet up with somebody instead of posting. Instead of messaging somebody, give somebody a real phone call. You know that people who have more real relationships in their life, who had real friends, who had less social media and all these types of things, those people who had real life-giving relationships, they prove to be less depressed, have less anxiety, less social anxiety particularly. They most often prove to be more healthy emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And I truly believe that the bigger part of that is because they have life-giving relationships. They're meeting with real people. I'm not saying that social media is bad. Social media is great. But I do think if we're not careful, we can learn to accept a technological relationship over a real relationship. I think we should forget about our status for a minute. That we should forget about what everybody else thinks about us. And instead of occupying our time with what other people may think about us, help us to occupy our time thinking about other people. thinking about how we could connect with them, how we could spend time with them, how we could better serve them. I personally just got rid of all my social media. You know, I was with my daughter one night. My daughter's 9 years old, and she was trying to show me her new division technique that she's learning in school in the fourth grade. And she said, "Hey, Dad, check out what I'm doing in division right now." And I said, "Yeah, okay, that's cool. That's cool, sugar." And she said, "Dad, you're not even looking." And I said, "Well, I'm busy. Hold on a second." And my 9-year-old daughter, she said, "Dad, you're not even busy. You're just on Facebook. You're not even writing a sermon or a message or any work. You're just on Facebook." And I said, "You know what? You're right. I'm not busy. I'm sorry. I'm not busy." I think that nowadays we're allowing these technological relationships to take all of our energy, and in that we don't even have enough energy or attention for the real relationships in our life, even the crucial ones like our wives and our children. I've erased all social media from my life. I'm not saying you should do that. It's helped me tremendously. It was even actually a little bit liberating. And I want you to think about this as we wrap up. Jesus said that he came to die for us while we were sinners. That was our status. And he said that there's no greater joy than someone lay their life down for their friends. And we talked at the beginning about Jonathan and David, and how David's life wasn't saved by status, but it was saved by a friend. Well, according to Jesus' words, I would say that our lives were saved by a friend as well. Our lives weren't saved by status. They were saved by a friend. They were saved by someone who desired to have real relationship with us. Value relationship. Serve others. Make people the priority. Choose real relationships and be the type of friend that you would like to have. Thank you.